Ladies and gentlemen, there are businesses in this world that rise and fall. Markets crash, economies shake, and fortunes disappear overnight. Men build empires today, and tomorrow they are nothing but dust. But what if I told you there are 4 businesses revealed in the Bible that have never failed, not once, not ever, and never will? These are not businesses built on money, trends, or human wisdom. These are divine principles established by God Himself. They have stood through wars, through generations, through the rise and fall of nations, and they are still producing results today. The tragedy is this: many people spend their entire lives chasing success in systems that are destined to fail, while ignoring the only businesses that guarantee true prosperity, peace, and eternal reward. Tonight, you are not here by accident. There is a reason you are hearing this message. If you stay with me until the end, you will discover secrets that can transform not only your future, but your eternity. The business of seeking God first. The first business that never fails is the business of putting God first. The Bible declares, "Seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you." Notice the order: God first, everything else follows. But the problem today is that many people reverse this order. They chase money first, success first, recognition first, and then, if there is time left, they think about God. And then they wonder why their lives feel empty, unstable, and unfulfilled. God never intended for you to live that way. When you make God your priority, something supernatural begins to happen. Doors open that no man can shut. Favor follows you. Peace fills your heart even when storms surround you. Seeking God is not just about religion. It is about relationship. It is about waking up with a hunger for His presence. It is about aligning your life with His will. And here is the powerful truth: no one who has ever truly put God first has ended up last. This business never fails because God Himself backs it. And when God is your source, you are no longer dependent on the unstable systems of this world. You may lose a job, but you won't lose your provider. You may face difficulties, but you won't face them alone. When you seek God first, you are stepping into a divine system where heaven supports your life. There is something profoundly simple, yet deeply powerful, about putting God first. It sounds easy, almost too easy, but in reality, it is one of the greatest struggles of the human heart, because everything in this world fights for first place in your life. Your ambitions demand it. Your fears push for it. Your desires cry out for it. And yet, God still calls you to make a decision. Who will truly come first? When a person begins to seek God first, it is not just a small adjustment. It is a complete transformation of priorities. It means that before you make decisions, you seek His direction. Before you chase opportunities, you seek His will. Before you trust your own understanding, you lean on His wisdom. And in that moment, life begins to shift from being driven by pressure to being guided by purpose. Many people live restless lives because they are constantly trying to hold everything together on their own. They wake up worried, they move through the day anxious, and they go to sleep uncertain about tomorrow. Why? Because they have placed themselves at the center instead of placing God at the center. But the moment you reposition your life and say, "God, you come first," something supernatural begins to take place. Peace replaces anxiety. Direction replaces confusion. Strength replaces weakness. Seeking God first is not about perfection, it is about priority. It does not mean you will never make mistakes. It means you are choosing who leads your life. And when God leads, He never leads into failure. He may lead you through valleys, but He always brings you out stronger. He may allow storms, but He remains your anchor in the storm. Think about this. If the Creator of the universe is guiding your steps, what do you truly have to fear? What door can remain closed if He decides to open it? What obstacle can stand if He commands it to move? This is why this business never fails, because it is not dependent on human effort, but on divine faithfulness. There are people who have spent years chasing success only to feel empty when they finally achieve it. They reach the top, but their hearts are still searching. That is because success without God is incomplete. It may satisfy the eyes, but it will never satisfy the soul. But when you seek God first, He not only provides what you need, He fills what nothing else can fill. And here is where it becomes deeply personal. Seeking God first is not about a moment. It is about a lifestyle. It is choosing Him daily. It is choosing Him when it is convenient and when it is not. It is choosing Him when life is good and when life is difficult. It is saying, no matter what happens, God, You are my priority. When you live this way, you step into a life that is no longer controlled by circumstances. You are no longer shaken by every change in the world around you because your foundation is unshakable. Your confidence is no longer in what you can do, but in what God can do through you. And over time, you will begin to see something remarkable. Things you once chased will begin to come to you. Opportunities you once struggled for will begin to open. Not because you are striving harder, but because you are aligned with the One who controls it all. This is the mystery and the miracle of putting God first. It may not always make sense to the world, but it always produces results that the world cannot explain. There is a principle woven into the very fabric of life, a law that cannot be broken, ignored, or reversed. The law of sowing and reaping. From the beginning of time, it has been in motion. A farmer plants a seed and expects a harvest. No one questions it. No one doubts it. Yet when it comes to spiritual and financial life, many people forget that the same unchanging principle applies. Whatever you sow, you will reap. This is not just about money, it is about your entire life. You sow kindness, you reap favor. You sow dishonesty, you reap distrust. You sow generosity, you reap abundance. It is a divine system established by God Himself, and unlike the unstable systems of this world, it never fails. But here is where many people miss it. They want a harvest without a seed. They pray for increase, but they hold back in giving. They ask God for blessings, but they refuse to release what is already in their hands. And yet the truth remains, there is no harvest without sowing. Giving is not losing, it is planting. When you give with the right heart, you are not throwing something away, you are placing it into your future. Every act of generosity becomes a seed that enters God's system, and God is faithful to bring it back multiplied. Not always in the same form, not always in the same time, but always in a way that fulfills His promise. The world teaches you to hold tightly, to protect what you have, to fear loss. But God teaches something radically different. Release what is in your hand, and He will release what is in His. And what is in His hands is far greater than anything you could ever hold on to. This kind of giving requires faith. It requires you to trust that God sees what others do not see. It requires you to believe that even when it looks like you are decreasing, God is actually setting you up for increase. Because in God's kingdom, the path to multiplication often begins with letting go. Think about a seed. Before it produces anything, it must be buried. It disappears into the ground, out of sight, in what seems like a loss. But beneath the surface, something powerful is happening. That seed is breaking open, transforming, preparing to produce far more than what was originally planted. The same is true in your life. There are moments when your giving may feel like a sacrifice. It may feel like you are letting go of something you need. But if you could see what God is doing behind the scenes, you would realize that your seed is not lost. It is growing. And here is the beauty of this divine business. God is not unjust. He does not forget your giving. He does not overlook your sacrifice. Every seed you sow in faith is recorded, and in His perfect timing, the harvest comes. It may come as provision when you least expect it. It may come as an opportunity that changes your life. It may come as protection, favor, or breakthrough. But it will come because God's system never fails. However, the heart behind the giving matters. This is not about manipulation or trying to buy blessings. It is about trust. It is about obedience. It is about recognizing that everything you have already belongs to God, and you are simply stewarding it. When you give with a joyful and willing heart, you align yourself with the flow of God's provision. You step out of fear and into faith. You break the grip of selfishness and step into the freedom of generosity. And something else begins to happen. You start to reflect the very nature of God. Because God is a giver. He gives life. He gives grace. He gives mercy. And He gives abundantly. And when you become a giver, you begin to walk in His character. This is why this business never fails. It is not based on economic conditions, market trends, or human systems. It is based on a divine promise that has never been broken. So the question is not whether this principle works. The question is whether you will trust it enough to live by it. There is a great difference between believing something in your mind and living it out in your life. Many people say they have faith. They speak about faith. They admire faith. But when the moment comes to act, fear takes over. And this is where the third business reveals its power, because faith was never meant to remain an idea. Faith was designed to move, to act, to step forward even when the path is not fully visible. Faith in action is what separates those who talk about possibilities from those who experience them. It is easy to have faith when everything is going well. It is easy to trust when the answers are already in front of you. But real faith begins when you cannot see the outcome, when the situation looks uncertain, when logic tells you to step back, but something deep inside calls you to step forward anyway. This is the kind of faith that never fails, because it is not rooted in human confidence, it is rooted in God's character. When you act in faith, you are declaring that you trust God more than your fears. You are saying, even though I don't see the full picture, I believe you are already there. And that kind of faith activates something powerful. It opens doors that cannot be opened by effort alone. It creates opportunities where none seem to exist. But understand this clearly. Faith is not passive. It does not sit still and wait for life to change. Faith moves. Faith obeys. Faith steps out even when it feels uncomfortable. There are moments in life when God will place something in your heart, a vision, a calling, a direction, and it will not make sense at first. You may feel unqualified. You may feel uncertain. You may feel like the timing is not right. But faith does not wait for perfect conditions. Faith responds to God's voice. And here is where many people miss their breakthrough. They wait until they feel ready. They wait until they have enough resources, enough confidence, enough clarity. But if you wait for everything to be perfect, you may never move at all. Faith often requires you to take the first step before you see the staircase. It requires courage. It requires trust. It requires surrendering control and allowing God to lead you into places you could never reach on your own. And yes, there will be moments of doubt. There will be moments when fear whispers, "What if you fail?" But faith responds with a greater voice, "What if God is with me?" And if God is with you, failure is never final. Even when things do not go as expected, faith does not collapse, it grows stronger. Because faith understands that every step, even the difficult ones, are part of a greater plan. What looks like a delay may actually be preparation. What feels like a setback may actually be a redirection. When you live by faith, you are no longer limited by what you can see. You begin to live with a different perspective. You stop measuring your possibilities by your circumstances and you start measuring them by God's promises. And something begins to change inside of you. Fear loses its grip. Doubt loses its voice. Confidence begins to rise, not in yourself, but in the one who is guiding your life. This is why faith in action never fails. Not because every step will be easy, but because every step is supported by God. When you move in faith, you are not walking alone. Heaven is backing your obedience. And over time, as you continue to step out, you will begin to see the evidence. Doors that once seemed impossible will open. Paths that once seemed blocked will clear. And you will look back and realize that what started as a small step of faith became a journey of transformation. The question is not whether faith works. The question is whether you are willing to act on it. There is a powerful truth that runs against the thinking of this world. Greatness is not found in being served, but in serving others. The world teaches you to climb higher, to gain more, to put yourself first. But God reveals a different path, a path that many overlook, yet it never fails. It is the business of serving others. At first glance, serving may seem small. It may seem unnoticed, even unimportant. But in God's kingdom, what looks small carries eternal weight. Every act of service, every moment of kindness, every time you lift someone else, it matters more than you realize. Service is not weakness, it is strength under control. When you choose to serve, you are stepping out of selfishness and into purpose. You begin to see beyond your own needs and recognize the needs of others. And something begins to shift inside your heart. You become less focused on what you lack and more aware of what you can give. Many people are searching for purpose, asking, "Why am I here? What is my calling?" But often the answer begins with something simple. Serve where you are. Help someone in need. Encourage someone who is struggling. Give your time, your effort, your energy, not because you have to, but because you choose to. And here is the mystery of this divine business. When you serve others, God begins to take care of you. It may not happen instantly, and it may not happen in ways you expect, but over time you will see it. Doors will open, favor will find you, opportunities will come your way, not because you were chasing them, but because your heart was aligned with something greater. Service positions you for blessing. Think about it. When you become a person who genuinely serves others, you become someone people trust, someone people value, someone people remember. And more importantly, you become someone God can use. The world is full of people trying to be seen, trying to be recognized, trying to prove their worth. But those who serve do not need to chase recognition. Recognition follows them, because true impact cannot be hidden. There is also something deeply spiritual about serving. It reflects the very nature of God. God is not distant or indifferent. He is active, involved, giving, and compassionate. And when you serve, you begin to reflect that same heart. But let's be honest, serving is not always easy. There will be times when it feels inconvenient. There will be times when you feel unappreciated. There will be times when you give your best and receive nothing in return. And in those moments, you will be tempted to stop. But this is where true service is revealed. Not when it is easy, but when it costs you something. Because real service is not about applause. It is not about recognition. It is about obedience. It is about love. It is about doing what is right, even when no one is watching. And here is the promise. Nothing you do in service is ever wasted. Every act of kindness is seen. Every sacrifice is remembered. Every effort carries a reward, if not immediately, then in ways that will unfold over time. God is not unjust to forget what you have done. And something else happens when you live a life of service. You begin to experience a deeper kind of fulfillment. Not the temporary satisfaction that comes from personal success, but a lasting joy that comes from making a difference. You realize that life is not just about what you achieve, but about who you impact. This is why the business of serving others never fails. It is not dependent on circumstances, status, or resources. Anyone can step into it. Anyone can live it. And those who do will always find themselves part of something greater than their own ambitions. So the question becomes simple. Will you choose to live for yourself, or will you choose to live a life that lifts others? Because in that choice lies a kind of success that this world can never take away. There is a perspective that changes everything about how a person lives their life. It is the realization that not everything you see is permanent, and not everything you invest in is temporary. In a world where people are constantly focused on immediate results, quick success, quick gain, quick recognition, the Bible points us towards something far greater: eternal investment. This is the business that never fails, because it is not limited by time, not affected by inflation, not shaken by crisis, and not destroyed by loss. It is the kind of investment that carries value beyond this life and into eternity. Eternal investment begins with understanding that your life on earth is not the final destination. It is preparation for what comes after. Everything you have, your time, your resources, your talents, your opportunities, has been entrusted to you for a purpose greater than temporary enjoyment. And the way you use these things determines not just your present, but your eternal reward. Many people spend their lives investing only in what they can see: careers, possessions, achievements, and comforts. These things are not wrong in themselves, but they are limited. They cannot follow you beyond this life. They can provide temporary security, but they cannot provide eternal security. But when you begin to invest in things that have eternal value, things like faith, love, righteousness, generosity, and the lives of others, you are building something that will last forever. Every time you choose to do what is right, even when it is difficult, you are making an eternal investment. Every time you encourage someone toward God, every time you share truth, every time you live with integrity, you are sowing into something that outlives you. Unlike worldly investments, eternal investments are never lost. They are never devalued. They are never taken away. They are stored in a place where corruption cannot reach and where time cannot erase them. And here is the profound truth. What you invest in eternity will eventually speak for you. There are people who may not be remembered for their wealth or achievements, but they will be remembered in eternity for their faith, their obedience, and their impact on others. Because in God's system, what truly matters is not how much you accumulated, but how faithfully you lived. This does not mean you abandon responsibility in this life. It means you live with a higher perspective. You begin to see your decisions differently. You begin to ask not just what will benefit me now, but also what will matter forever. When you live with eternity in mind, your priorities shift. You value people more than possessions. You value character more than comfort. You value obedience more than convenience. And in doing so, you align your life with what truly lasts. There is also a deep peace that comes from eternal investment. Because when your confidence is rooted in things that cannot be taken away, you are no longer controlled by fear of loss. Circumstances may change. Opportunities may come and go. But what you have stored in eternity remains secure. This is why this business never fails. It is not dependent on human systems, financial markets, or earthly conditions. It is governed by a kingdom that is eternal and unchanging. And one day, every person will stand before that reality. In that moment, what will matter most is not what you gained for yourself, but what you invested beyond yourself. So the question becomes deeply personal. Where are you investing your life? Are you building only for the present, or are you also building for eternity? Because the investments you make today will echo far beyond this life, and in God's kingdom, those investments never fail.